Good morning, everybody, and welcome to episode 52 of the Mugs Up Show, where today's show will be called Music Monday. Now, this was an idea from our content curator, Miss Emma Jane James. I was trying to think of an episode for a topic for today's episode, and she said, how about you call it Music Monday, and you talk about your favorite songs or your top 3 favorite songs. Well, that takes a lot of thinking, and I didn't have time to come up with my top 3 favorite songs this morning, and last night I really wasn't wanting to work on that or think about that, because we all know what was happening last night, and what was happening last night was the fucking world premiere of Yellowstone season 3, and ain't shit getting done when you're watching Yellowstone, the most badass show that has been created in a long time. And in fact, if you haven't started watching Yellowstone yet, you need to get your ass in gear and find a way to start watching that show. Find a way to get season 1, start watching it. You can binge watch it and get caught up to season 3, which started last night. It's basically Sons of Anarchy meets The Wild West is kind of what it is. It's Kevin Costner. He's the creator, the producer. It's got a lot of good actors and actresses in it. It's just fucking awesome. So watch it. Now, when we have Music Mondays, the topic will be music, but we might talk about music in different ways. But we will talk about music in some form or fashion. Now, before I get to how I'm going to talk about music today, just want to apologize for not getting an episode out on Friday. I took some time off, and I was just really busy on my days off, and I got one in Thursday. I didn't get one in Friday. And, I apologize for that. And I hope that gave y'all all a chance to just get caught up on all of the shows. And so, whatever. I'm glad we're back, and we'll move on with today's episode. So, Music Monday. Let me take a drink of coffee first. By the way, this coffee I'm drinking is fucking fantastic. I've never talked about the coffee I drink on this show before, maybe once. This coffee is from Pure Coffee Club. A guy named Vinny Tortorich owns that coffee company. And he has a podcast I listen to all the time. It's kind of a low-carb type podcast. And he has his own coffee company, and you can order it online. He's got several different roasts, and it's absolutely fucking phenomenal. I highly recommend the house blend, the athletic blend, and my favorite is the double French roast. So purecoffeeclub.com, I think is what it is. Great coffee company. Now, Music Monday. So I didn't want to talk about my top 3 favorite songs, because I would really have to think about that for a while to figure out what those are. Maybe we'll do that next Monday. But I did have a moment with music, if you will, while I was on my 2 days off on Thursday and Friday. And it just brought back some really great memories. I was listening to a song, it brought back some really great memories. So I just want to tell that story. And maybe it'll turn into us all learning something. I don't know. So what happened was, when I go back home, I tend to listen to music that was near and dear to my heart back in the day. And so I'm driving down the road, and actually, no, that's not how this happened. How this happened was I was out in my dad's shop. He's got Sirius Radio out there, and there's some country station on. And all of a sudden, Robert Earl Keen comes on, and it is the song "The Road Goes On Forever." or maybe it's called The Party Never Ends. I think it's Road Goes On Forever. And anyway, right when this fucking song comes on, a very vivid memory hits me of being out at a party and hearing somebody actually play this song on the guitar and sing it live at this party I was at back in high school. Now, if you're Canadian folk and you were in high school between the years of 1997 and 2002, you are very well aware where the most epic fucking parties happened in Canadian. And that was out at the Blues House. John and Tammy Blue threw the best fucking high school parties that have probably ever been thrown in that town and probably ever will be thrown in that town, to be honest. And I frequented those parties, as did many of my other friends. And you know, one thing I remember about those parties is how they were so happy. Like there were a lot of different people, kids out at these parties. I mean, it was kind of a clique melting pot, if you will. I mean, you had you had all different kinds of kids out there. It wasn't just one group of kids. It's like many different kinds of kids out there, and like everybody was hanging out together. They were fun. Everyone was happy. There weren't any fights and shit going on. Like everybody just generally got along and had a lot of fun. And but the parties were fucking epic. I mean, like to this day, I still think about them every now and then, and like just how fucking awesome they were. And so this song by Robert Earl Keen comes on the radio on Thursday, I think it was. The Road Goes On Forever. And all of a sudden, I'm taken back to one of these parties out at the Blues House. And I have vivid memories of this guy named Greg Cook being up in front of everybody out in the barn. And he's strumming his guitar and he plays The Road Goes On Forever by Robert Earl Keen, and he sings it. And Greg is a very good musician and a very good singer, or at least he was back then. He's probably even better now. I haven't talked to Greg since high school. I don't even know what the hell that guy's up to. If somebody sees this episode and you're friends with him on Facebook, you need to share this with him so he can see that I really, really cherish the moment that he played The Road Goes On Forever by Robert Earl Keen out at the blues parties, or out at one of the parties back. It was probably in 2000, maybe 2000, I don't know, something like that. But anyway, I had this memory and it took me back, and man, it was just such a warm feeling. You know, like it was just such a warm feeling being around a lot of friends and having fun and everybody being so happy. And it just really made me remember and think about how lucky I was to be from a town like Canadian and have so many close friends, and a town where like most everybody gets along. And all the kids in high school are pretty much friends. I mean, they all do different things, but they're for the most part pretty much friends and get along. And yeah, it just brought back some good memories. So that's my story. I mean, it was kind of a short one, and I don't know what that does for you, but hopefully it helps everybody to look back and think back to your younger years and think about just some of the wonderful things and wonderful friends you had, and wonderful experiences you had. And hopefully, I really hope you have that same relationship with music that I have. I'm sure you do, where like if you're listening to a song from back in the day, it can bring up very vivid memories of just wonderful experiences and times that you had. So with that, mugs up. And most importantly, thank you to John and Tammy Blue for orchestrating some of the best fucking parties, maybe the best parties I've ever been into in my whole entire fucking life. You have no idea what that means to me, and you have no idea what great memories I have of those parties, and memories I still think about to this day, and really just gives me a warm feeling inside. So thank you to you two for having those parties and being my friends when I was growing up. I don't know where you two are at. Hopefully this episode reaches you, but I miss both of you, and I hope you're doing well. Everyone else, love you too. We'll see you tomorrow for episode 53 of The Mugs Up Show.